But a New York Times poll recently showed that 2% of people think that this is the most important problem facing our country. There's over 10 issues that top it. The top issue being the economy, which we've seen now for years. And I know you're saying that healthcare is worth this fight. Once again, I'm not saying healthcare is not a serious issue here that affects both parties, but do you think the hundreds of thousands of government workers who are furloughed, who are going without a paycheck while the government shut down, do you think that they would agree with you here?
Well, look, first of all, I'd have to see the specific wording of that polling, because I think that the biggest issue that I see are the cost of living is too high. And when you unpack that, the cost of healthcare is one of the highest priority items, along with housing and groceries. That's number one. Number two is nobody wants to see a shutdown. At least I don't want to see a shutdown. But I also don't want to see this budget director, Russ Vought, use it as an excuse to execute his Project 2025 agenda. What he actually wants to do is far worse than what you just said, Brittany. He wants to use this to have a widespread reduction in force. He wants mass firings of federal employees. And I can tell you it is illegal. It is unconstitutional. There have already been lawsuits filed. I believe that it will be enjoined in the courts. And eventually this could make it all the way to the Supreme Court. The law is very clear on this. When the government shuts down, workers are declared either essential or non-essential and are either furloughed or they have to work without pay. As soon as the government reopens, people are back on the job and they get their back pay. If Vought tries to fire people, there are policies, there are laws in place protecting civil servants. You have to have a notice period, for example. You have to give preference to veterans. There are all sorts of rules around this. He can't just go arbitrarily fire a bunch of people. So I don't take his threats or his intimidation as anything other than bullying and trying to use fear to try to get an outcome. I haven't seen anything from this administration other than misrepresenting the facts on the ground, distorting the truth, using mean-spirited and childish social media, or using bullying and intimidation. None of that, Brittany, is leadership. None of that helps anybody. None of that brings the country together. None of that solves any of the problems that Americans are facing. None of that provides health care to a single solitary American. All of it is designed as distraction, and I hope that enough people are paying attention where they don't fall for it.